All right. All right. Welcome to episode number 1 of Late Night with Alex. So slash tracks at night. My name is Alex Vanover. Obviously, you know that if you're watching. We're going to get into some just typical shenanigans on the show tonight. We're going to do some funny headlines, some sports stuff, some Power Ranger stuff, movie review. Saw Final Destination's Bloodlines last weekend. Some other stuff. But we're doing it like this is not Slash Tracks News. This is just Slash Tracks Late at Night. This is a live stream, going to be interactive with the audience. Same Slash Track stuff that you're used to, but just, live, having fun, real casual. Johnny Utah in the chat. Did I run today? I didn't run today. I walked today. Did you run today, Johnny Utah? Did you get chased or did you chase Bodie after he got done robbing a bank and then have a dog thrown on your face? Excuse me. All right. Hey, and I know James Acosta's not in the chat right now, but it was his birthday this week, and I wanted to wish him a very happy birthday. He's a huge slashaholic, and he's integral to a lot of the stuff we do on the shows and on the Josh's channel over there with the books and all that stuff. So I want to wish him a happy birthday, and I hope he's having an amazing week. I hope he had something really fun to eat. I hope he ate, one of his favorite meals. I hope he had a good time. I hope he got some good presents, and all that good stuff. Speaking of Johnny Utah with Point Break, I think I mentioned it on my live stream when I was in the toy room the other night, but if you guys didn't catch that, we are actually going to have Gromit himself, Bo Jesse Christopher. I spoke to him earlier this week. I've secured him. He is going to be on the show. It's going to be in July sometime. Josh just told me that we're going to do a second interview with Adam Marcus, the director and writer of Jason Goes to Hell. So Adam Marcus is going to be back on Getting Sidetracked. He's got a new documentary out. I believe it's called Hearts of Darkness. And that's going to be a lot of fun to talk to him. Probably my favorite interview that we've done on Slash Tracks. Really down to earth, really nice. Super gracious, super giving with his time. He gets a bad rap for a lot of people not liking Jason Goes to Hell. What was he supposed to do? He was told to take the mask off of Jason, and he did for most of the movie. And he was also told to do something different. And there was a lot of restrictions he had because it was a different studio. He wasn't at Paramount anymore. They were at New Line. There was a lot of things that he couldn't control. So I think he gets a bad rap. So you got those two big guests coming up for Getting Sidetracked. I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. I saw today that McDonald's is bringing back Boo Buckets. And this is pretty exciting to me because every year I try to make sure that I get the new Boo Buckets or whatever. And it's always a big deal. The Boo Buckets last Halloween, the most recent Halloween, were kind of a bust. They weren't really Halloween themed. They were like monster themed. They looked like they could have been buckets that were given out like during Easter or like just any month. There was nothing Halloween-y really about them. They've kind of grown on me because they were just so different. But other than that, not really a big fan. I hope they go back to the Halloween theme this coming year for the Boo Buckets. The local McDonald's in my area is just such a pain in the ass with their you can't buy the buckets by themselves, which was never an issue before. You have to buy the Happy Meal. So I'm a recovering overweight person. I battle my weight still to this day, and it's like, yeah, I guess I'll take 3 Happy Meals, and yeah. They're all for my children that I don't have. These Boo Buckets aren't for me. It's like when I go into a store and I'm buying toys because I collect toys. They're always like, oh, your kid's going to love these toys. And I'm like, yeah, they're going to. Make sure you don't bend those corners on those cardboards when you're checking them out, sir, because my kid's not going to open these, and my kid is me. I want to talk. I saw Final Destination's Bloodlines with Mother Evil last weekend. And that movie, if you guys haven't seen that movie, it is a lot of fun. All those Final Destination movies are just so much fun. A lot of really inventive deaths. They're like creating like a Final Destination like multiverse. Like stuff has been going on for just, decades in this Final Destinations multiverse, behind the scenes. They explain a lot, like some of the back characters, why they are motivated in the previous movies and why they do the things they do. Tony Todd's non-scripted lines in his last scene ever in the last movie he ever filmed. I almost cried in that instant. It was crazy. It's really good. Super good stuff. Nicole Webb, Mother Evil, says she's excited to see what the boo buckets are going to look like. Yeah, me too, for sure. I'm hoping for like a really decent like vampire one. I'm a really big fan of any of the ones that are orange, like the actual retro old school colors. Those are what I'm hoping for. Now back to Final Destinations. A lot of really cool kills. Great storyline. A lot of characters I was very invested into. I didn't want to see them die. A good horror movie to me, and I've always said this, is like if I'm invested in the characters and I care about them, I'm going to care about what happens to them, and therefore I'm invested in the film, and it makes it a really fun experience. And they did that in this film. It was interesting to see an entire family facing death as opposed to a group of friends that didn't really know each other. So that was really interesting. What else? Okay. Something bad I didn't like about the movie. I hate that Final Destinations uses CGI blood. Not a fan of it. I wish they would just go all practical effects. It drives me nuts, kind of. Not really a big fan of that. So Jeffrey Reddick is actually a friend of mine on X or Twitter or whatever. I don't know that I have any pull. I don't know that the Trax network has any pull with Jeffrey Reddick, but maybe I could make a comment. Bless me. My allergies are so bad right now, guys. Here comes another one. This is going to be different. You can't edit it out. You can't edit out my burps or my coughs or my sneezes or anything. This is going to be fun. Yeah, so Trax is going to try to put a note into Jeffrey Reddick and see if we can get rid of the fake CGI blood for the next Final Destinations movie, because there's definitely going to be another one, because Final Destinations Bloodlines made like at least $160 million on like a $20-30 million budget. So major profit. Johnny Utah in the chat says McDonald's needs to bring Ronald McDonald back. Absolutely, they do. They really started scaling him back after Super Size Me, that stupid documentary came out. And then they found out that the man who made Super Size Me was actually a closet alcoholic, and a lot of his numbers and health problems were directly responsible for his alcohol intake, or his lack of alcohol intake during the filming, because I think he went just like cold turkey. So yeah, it just skewed all of his numbers. I want to talk about, what else do we got on here? Wrestling news. R-Truth was released from WWE. R-Truth had been wrestling for WWE for, it seems like forever. He came into the Federation as K-Quick, kind of like a legitimate superstar when he first showed up, and then he just kind of devolved into a comedy act. He just wrestled John Cena at a major pay-per-view, just like last pay-per-view, I believe. I almost think that they knew he was going to be released, and it was like, okay, we'll just give you this last little hurrah, this last little piece of, nice little paycheck, and thank you for your years and years and years of service. He hadn't really had a serious run in a long time. Everything he does is comedy. He was a Vince McMahon guy. Vince McMahon was a big fan of him, but Vince isn't around anymore, and WWE is rapidly changing. I don't know that I'm a fan of the new product, to be honest with you. I don't like what TKO is doing. They're putting like sponsors all over the rings. They never did that before, like advertising. A lot of the storylines seem rushed and forced. I don't like that they have these stupid press conferences where they're talking about how they wrote the storyline and why they're doing what they're doing. They keep breaking the fourth wall. It's like, I understand wrestling is a work. It's not real. It's predetermined. Spoiler alert. But can you at least pretend like it isn't? It's ridiculous. I hate it. So I don't know if I'm a big fan of TKO, but they're making so much money. Some of their ticket prices are just ridiculous. They are charging so much to go to these pay-per-views. They're pricing the regular fan out. There's not going to be any more days of going to WrestleMania with quarters. I paid for my WrestleMania ticket when it was in San Jose with quarters from working at the golf course. The golfers would like make the turn when I was bartending, and they'd be like, "Oh, I want 2 beers and a Gatorade," and it'd be like $5.50, and they'd just give me their quarters, and I would just keep all those quarters, and I eventually had enough for a ticket. So I paid for my WrestleMania ticket with that. Excuse me. Can't edit that out. This is live. What else do we got for wrestling? I think I have something else. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. This is the good one. Sergeant Slaughter claims that the WWF Royal Rumble in 1991 title change, where he wrestled Ultimate Warrior and beat him for the belt, was a screw job, just like the Bret Hart Shawn Michaels thing. And the Ultimate Warrior wasn't told he was going to lose the title. So I don't know why Sergeant Slaughter is saying this, because this is clearly BS. You're telling me that Macho King Randy Savage came down there and hit Ultimate Warrior in the head with the scepter and broke it over his head, and that's how he lost the title. It's like, not only does Warrior not know he's losing the belt, but he's going to be cold-cocked by Macho King's scepter, just laid out in the ring, and then Slaughter's going to win the belt because Warrior's just absolutely, for real, knocked out. That's all. That was all real, huh? Yeah. Has nothing to do with the fact that he wasn't drawing well, and they wanted to go back to Hulk Hogan. So they needed to have like a transitional champion. So yeah, that's not what it had to do with. Okay. Sure. Okay. But what do you guys think? What does the chat think? All 2 of you. Sergeant Slaughter, is he just telling stories so he can sign more autographs at Comic Cons or get more clicks on his Twitter? It's feeling a little phony to me. I don't know if I'm buying it. I'm trying to get to. Okay, I got it. Do I watch AEW? I do not watch AEW. I only catch the major plot points and storylines the next day and like highlights, Johnny Utah. The last thing I really paid attention to was MJF joined the Hurt Syndicate or the Hurt Business. I saw that. Saw that Dean Ambrose, he doesn't go by Dean Ambrose anymore. He's the champion in AEW, and he got like a spiked bat in his back, and it was just horrific looking. So that was disgusting. Do you watch AEW? Is that why you're asking? I'm not really a fan of the product at all. It seems like whenever anyone starts to get really over, they just immediately head to WWF or WWE when their contract expires. So I don't know about that. What else do we got on here? What else do I want to talk about? Okay, let's talk about some a natural transition. Let's go to some sports. Okay, so the NBA Finals is set. It's going to be the Pacers versus the Thunder, and you're going to hear it first here on Trax Network. I'm saying Thunder in 6. Halliburton for the Pacers is playing very Jokic-esque. He's a triple-double just waiting to happen. He's playing really well. Siakam is playing really well for the Pacers. They're playing really good. Great chemistry. They're a great team. You can tell they like each other. The Thunder, a lot of the same things I just said. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander might be the best basketball player in the NBA right now. He's amazing. Chet Holmgren is really good. Johnson is really good. They are just loaded. The Thunder, I think for sure going to win this in 6. Pacers look great though, so I don't know that it would surprise me if they won because they're on such a heater, but I really think it's the Thunder's year. It's really interesting that both of these teams built their core players that led them to the finals by trading away Paul George. Paul George played for both of these teams, and he left both of these teams high and dry, or at least we thought high and dry, because when he went to the designation he wanted to in a trade, both these teams got tons of draft picks, tons of players, and all these draft picks and all these players eventually led to them having very, very good teams. And that's all thanks to Paul George. So thank you, Paul George. The NBA Finals, the 2025 NBA Finals is brought to you by Paul George. Thank you. We salute you. What else do we got? Oh, I got a funny story. Man was recently photographed carrying away the fridge he bought her after he caught her cheating. So if you cheat on this man, he's taking the fridge, he's taking the Who hash, he's taking the bath bombs. He's taking the cans of Nellie's chili. He's taking everything. If you do this man wrong, I think it's so funny that he took an appliance away from her. He took the fridge. It's such a funny photo. It shows him like walking down the street, toting this gigantic stainless steel fridge down the road. It's hilarious. Nicole Webb, Mother Evil. Pacers gonna win. What are you basing that off of? You don't watch basketball. I know because I'm dating you. Johnny Utah. I watch AEW, enjoy it. Will Ospreay is the best wrestler today. You know what? I've actually seen Will wrestle. He is decent. He cuts a pretty good promo too. I feel like if some of those guys in AEW went to WWE, I feel like they would just be like another fish in a big pond. I feel like if they stay in AEW, they can be featured more, have a chance at more main events and get more seasoning. I really wish AEW would stop doing some of the mud show independent kind of garbage they do. They do a lot of weird kind of stuff. I know I'm not wrong in thinking that. I think Tony Khan is still learning how to book. I wish that he would like take more advice from the people around him, and I don't know, but he's the money behind the product, and this is his dream, and it wouldn't exist without him. So I have a hard time. I wouldn't want to give up control either. So I understand why he is so reluctant to give over creative, storylines and stuff to somebody else. I feel like he could have some sort of collection of writers though around him that he could like take advice from and steer him away from some of these weird booking decisions. I don't know. He won Booker of the Year for PWI like 2 or 3 years ago, which might have been a bad thing because I think it went to his head so quick that he did that. What else do we got? Hold on. This is a live show. This is a beta test. This is the first one. You look like the Ultimate Warrior without his face paint. Well, that is a compliment. Although I don't think the Ultimate Warrior was as sunburnt as I am today, Josh Anthony. I got burnt bad. I have a knee brace on, and Mother Evil was like, you nice sunburn. And I was like, what are you talking about? I thought it was on my shoulder, and it was like on my leg. It looks like I'm still wearing the knee brace when I had shorts on today, but the knee brace wasn't on. So funny. Okay, hold on. Paul Winchell, the voice of Gargamel on the Smurfs. Now, this is really interesting. He invented and patented the first artificial heart. So this guy is the voice of Gargamel, like the ultimate evil person who wants to get these Smurfs so he can make some sort of potion and make magic or whatever. Maybe he wanted to get these Smurfs so he could, maybe it had something to do with him patenting the first artificial heart. Maybe when they get maybe the person who received that artificial heart, their blood turned blue because of the Smurfs that he used. Maybe it was all in the name of goodness to begin with. Maybe he wasn't such a bad guy. I don't know. What do you guys think? What else do we got here? Okay. So that's kind of like the first few. Oh, no. Here we go. Legend of the White Dragon. I want to talk about this for a second. I don't know if anybody even is familiar with this. It's Jason David Frank's last movie. He finished it before he passed away. He passed away in November of 2022 or 2023. I think it was 2022 of November. He's been gone for 2 years. We're heading towards 3 years since we lost the Green Ranger. The movie it's done. For the most part, it's done. It was supposed to be released 2.5 years ago. And it's the guy who worked with it, a guy named Aaron Schoenke. He's like in charge of Bat in the Sun YouTube channel or whatever. He just refuses to release this thing. He's just sitting on it, and he just keeps gaslighting all of Jason David Frank's fans. And I was following The Legend of the White Dragon on Instagram, but all he posted on there was like, hey, look at these variant action figures. Look at this. Look at that. And I was like, when is this movie coming out? Why would anyone want to buy action figures from a movie that doesn't even exist? It's like so tone deaf. And a lot of the fans have turned against him. And the only reason he was even relevant to begin with this project was because of JDF. And it was like, whenever he wants publicity, he like uses JDF's name to pump himself up. But when the fans of JDF get upset that this movie isn't released and they call him out on it, he gets upset at them. It's like he's gaslighting every one of them. It's like it's to the point to where people are going to forget about this movie if they haven't already. I really don't see how this movie is going to make money. I really don't. You're going to set on this property. I mean, if you wait any longer, it won't even be relevant. It's like when they release movies, they're like, "Oh, this movie was filmed in like 2005," and they release it today, and it's like, "What the hell?" Nobody has Nokia brick phones or Razor or landlines. I don't know. Everybody looks super young. They used to do that. I'd go to like the local video store and you'd see movies with like A-list celebrities, and they never released them until they got famous. It was like Adam Sandler's Overboard was like his first movie ever made. I don't think it was released. But as soon as Billy Madison blew up and like Happy Gilmore, all of a sudden this Overboard movie with Adam Sandler was released. And it's like, what the hell is this? What is this piece of garbage? But they were just hoping the studio, whoever filmed it, was just like trying to make money off of it because they're like, okay, we got Sandler. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of, let's do a transition real quick. I've been doing a lot of recent like shorts on YouTube, and I feel like I'm getting a lot of views and a lot of traction, and I have some pretty funny stories or funny headlines, and maybe we'll just do a couple of those. Forgive me if you guys have already heard them. Okay, hold on. Okay, this was one I talked about today. Until 1956, French children attending school were served wine on their lunch breaks. I just think this is such a funny image to me. It's like this teacher is like, I cannot deal with these kids. Someone get them a bottle of wine. I can't deal with this. Someone get these kids a little buzzed so they'll pay attention to me. Make learning fun. Eat your croissant. Drink your wine, little baby. All right. There's a Roddy Piper from 2005 that still hasn't been released. See, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I hate that. It's so stupid. Johnny Utah, what do you think about these kids in 1956 drinking wine in grade school? Do you think that made learning just a little bit more fun? I know there was a lot of kids with ADHD and like hyperactivity disorders when I was in grade school. It was like not diagnosed because it was the 80s or the 90s. It's like they probably could have had a couple glasses of wine and probably would have helped things. That probably would have greased the wheels of learning, I think. I just did this short, guys. A church in Mexico is selling plots of land in heaven for $100 a square meter. So there's a pastor in Mexico, and he's trying to tell you that you can buy land in heaven, and it's only $100 a square meter. And this isn't the worst part. There's tons of people actually buying this stuff. It's insane that people are actually falling for this. I wonder if he can write this off because it's religious based too, like Scientology or like, whatever. I know that churches can, like Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a lot of it is like tax exempt because it's, religion. I wonder if he's able to do that. That's diabolical. A lot of people aren't able to make good decisions for themselves, and he's just exploiting this. This is ridiculous. There was also, I saw guys, there was a thing where someone created a Ouija board, but it's a Ouija board to heaven. So you get your Ouija board out, which is like, historically known to be, from the devil. And you can talk to God now with your Ouija board. It's unbelievable. They were probably traumatized from World War II. Who was probably traumatized? Oh, the kids from 56. Maybe. Probably saw a lot of stuff, right? Yeah, because Europe was the battleground for World War II. That's actually an excellent call, Johnny Utah. That is great. Hold on, I got a pretty interesting. All right. Oh, this is good. I did this one on a short. In 2013, a Texas man was abducted from his home in front of his terrified wife by two masked men with guns. He returned. He returned 2 days later, unharmed. It was later discovered that he had staged the abduction himself just so he could go out drinking with his friends. So he must have been like an active alcoholic, like a bad alcoholic. And his wife was like, "You're not going anywhere. You're going to have to be abducted before you leave this house." And then, dun, da, 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 he's stolen. Taken 4 is the movie of this guy. And she sends Liam Neeson to find her drunk husband. Johnny Utah, the Nazis took over Paris. Okay, there you go. There's the answer. What else do we got? I was gonna say in the chat if someone wanted to do a super chat for like as low as $1.99 that I would talk about whatever topic they want to talk about, but there's like nobody in the chat, so I'm not gonna do that. So we're not gonna be plugging anything tonight. Unless Nicole wants to talk about Taylor Swift, then I will gladly take a super chat from her. Big news: Taylor Swift bought all of her masters. She officially owns all of her records now, so she's now the Michael Jackson of the pop music industry, which is incredible because most people don't own their own masters of their own music. So if she's not a billionaire now, she's gonna be a billionaire. It's like a done deal. As long as she doesn't have a scandal or do something stupid in the future, she's gold. She's gold, pony boy. Oh, okay. One doctor. Oh, fast. No, I don't want to do that one. I already did that one. Oh, this is funny. I talked about that. Hey, in 1965, a machine was patented to deliver a baby using centrifugal force. The machine would spin the woman until the baby came out, and then the person helping would catch the baby in a net. I did a short the other day. That is so funny. That image is so freaking funny. Why did they do this? Did that actually work? It had to have worked. It had to have worked a few times. Where's the think tank for this? I would love to be a fly on the wall when that's going on. That's insane. You know what? I think that's enough for that. You guys got any topics you want to talk about in the chat? Any questions you have for me? Johnny Utah, is there anything you want to talk about? Let's just hang out for a little bit and then we'll call it a night. We'll have 6 or 7 beers, drive home and call it a night. That's a Kingpin reference, by the way. Taylor Swift used to perform at a casino where my dad lived in 2005, way before she was famous. Did you ever go see her? That was when she was really young. She was still like country music, Taylor Swift. All right. Well, guys, I think we're done. I think we're just still trying to work the bugs out here. Thanks for joining me for the last 28 minutes. And then tomorrow we're going to do some more stuff, and then we're going to do some more. We're going to keep trying our best. My sister did. It was a crummy, methy casino in NorCal. Oh, it sounds like the casino in Coos Bay where I was super drunk one night and left my car and didn't realize I left my car there. I don't know if you've ever heard this story, Johnny. Left my car there, had no idea where it was for like 2 or 3 weeks. Just operated under the assumption that my car was just gone. Just gone. And I got a call one day and they're like, hey, are you Alex Vanover? Blah, blah, blah. We found your car. You need to come get it before we tow it. Excuse me. And I was really excited because anytime I would go to the casino, I would just lose my ass. And I'd run up a huge bar tab. And that was like the only jackpot I had ever actually won, was getting my car back. So I didn't have to pay for the impounding fees and having to buy another car because I just thought it was gone. I did see that Taylor Swift did used to babysit for Jeff Jarrett. I did see that. I heard him talking about it on his podcast with Conrad, the mortgage guy. Have I been to NorCal? Yeah, I have. Is San Francisco considered Northern California? We went there. We stayed in San Jose and we saw WrestleMania the year it was down there. And I was above, like, I wasn't on the like Titantron side of the WrestleMania, the stadium, but I was on the other side. So we were like right on top. I had terrible tickets, and where the wrestlers would enter, like, you know, the whatever that where they walk to the ring, we were right on top of them, and I could actually see a gap. So before the wrestlers would be introduced, I would actually see who they were before their music hit because my tickets were so bad. I saw NWO come out before they actually were coming out. I saw The Rock kind of popping around before he came out and did his thing with Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. I'm a big Oakland A's fan, and probably going to go to Sacramento this summer. Well, we were going to go to Sacramento. I think we're going to go to Seattle to see him play, but we were going to go to Oakland last year, but that stadium actually honestly kind of scared me. My dad lived one town over from Chico. My brother, Aaron, the spoiler, had a good friend named Nick Besserell, and Nick was from Chico. And he would come to our hometown of Coos Bay, North Bend, where he actually went to grade school for a little bit, and I think even part of high school. And he kind of thought he was he would act like he was a gangster. And he got into a fight one time, and before the fight, he's like, "I'm going to show you how we get down Chico style." Said that before the fight, like literally said a catch line, like, "I'm going to show you how we get down Chico style." That's pretty funny. All right, guys. All right, Slashaholics. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for hanging out with me. Be on the lookout for future lives. Johnny Utah, appreciate you big time. You have been a supporter of the channel for a very long time, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Mother Evil. Thank you for everybody that popped in and said hi. Thanks to the person who came in, said I look like the Ultimate Warrior without face paint. That's a great compliment. He was absolutely jacked, handsome guy. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Mahalo, dogs.